Can DeSantis do it? Who knows? We got conflicting data for all of you, which we love. Let's put this up there on the screen. This was a poll that was taken at the very end of October through November 2nd. Trump was standing at 65%, and this was amongst GOP primary voters. DeSantis at 15%, Pence at 7%, Cheney 3%, Cruz 3%, Haley 1%, Tim Scott at 1%. Okay, but then there was another poll, came out after the election. Let's put this up there on the screen. This is from YouGov for the 2024 Republican primary. This has DeSantis at 42% and Trump at 35%. But Krystal, let's give him the caveat on this particular one.
This was a poll not just of likely Republican primary voters, which obviously is the thing that matters in a Republican primary. It was a poll of all Republicans and Republican-leaning independents. Trump was still winning the actual Republicans, whereas DeSantis had a significant edge among the Republican-leaning independents. So listen, that being said, I mean, the poll numbers have clearly shifted post-Tuesday in a very significant fashion. The election results could not have been better for Ron DeSantis if he crafted them in a lab.
That's right.
You have two states, Florida and New York, but let's focus on Florida for a moment, where Republicans cleaned up. I mean, the red wave did come to Florida, and DeSantis personally wins by frickin' 20 points, right? Meanwhile, Trump candidate after Trump candidate after Trump candidate just going down in flames across the country. And, you know, even J.D. Vance in Ohio manages to eke out a victory, underperforms across the state. So it was as direct a repudiation of the Trump direction of the party as you could possibly get. And, you know, clearly some part of the GOP base has, in fact, taken notice of that.
Yeah. Look, it will be the fight of the century. I am incredibly, or maybe it won't be a fight at all. Maybe DeSantis just says,
the other thing
I'm done. He's like, you know what? Why bother? I'm the king of Florida. I won it by 20%. If Trump wants to embarrass himself on the national stage, be my guest. I'll be waiting in the wings. At the same time, Chris Christie, I think we can all say, made a massive mistake by not running for president in 2012. I think I think he could have won. And now, you know, he's the one floating. Let's throw this next one on the screen here in the Washington Post. He's like, well, maybe I will still run. Glenn Youngkin is apparently talking to some people. Ron DeSantis is, you know, exploring the idea. Although I don't know how as seriously the Mike Pompeos, many of the others, Republican rivals. There's also a lot of donors. I think the fundamental problem is this, which is that most of the people, the GOP elites, you know, the media commentary, chattering class type figures, they were all against Trump originally. So for them to come out and say we need to move on from Trump, I don't think they have any credibility with the base. You need the figures that we showed you, and you need that times like 2,000 for there to be a real, actual move on case to be heard by these GOP voters. And I don't see that yet.
Even that. I mean, think about like, there have already been a lot of people who were true Trump believers at the beginning or who were in his administration who have turned and who have written books and who've gone the other direction. And it's just like, because the party has become defined by one question, which is where do you stand on the question of Trump? The minute you turn on him, it doesn't matter if you were there from the beginning. It doesn't matter if you believe whatever his policy agenda even is at this point. It just matters that today you do not support him. And so that's why I continue to be skeptical. You know, Rupert Murdoch has clearly, with all of his media outlets from Fox News to New York Post to Wall Street Journal, all united in trying to, you know, put the test balloon out there and try to move everybody on. But again, like I look at Fox News was, in some of their hours, very against Stop the Steal. Did it matter?
Yeah, it didn't matter.
Did the Republican base believe them? No. They still thought Arizona was stolen. And they, you know, were aggressively against the Fox News call, specifically in Arizona. So the fact that you have like Brett Baer out there being like, you know, I kind of like this Ron DeSantis guy, I don't know how much weight that ultimately carries. So listen, again, I think he is the weakest he has been. But I think if you are actually going to move the party on from Donald Trump, you have to have a concerted, consolidated, unified effort, and it has to be right now while he's down. Otherwise, he's just going to gather strength again.
I agree, and I don't see that yet. And by the way, if that existed, we would absolutely know about it. I would have heard about it from, you know, somebody, so-and-so's moving to Florida to go head all this up. So unless there's some real secret campaign that I'm not aware of, I don't see it yet.
And DeSantis has just, thus far, in response to Ron DeSanctimonious and all, he's just decided not to say anything, which in some ways is smart for him if you're playing the long game. But if you're actually going to dislodge Trump right now this cycle, I think you have to get in the game.
That's absolutely correct. Okay, final one here for the show. I know it's been a long show. Mike Pence speaking out against Trump for the very first time. Let's take a listen.
Members were barricaded inside the House chamber. And in the middle of it all, you can see that the president has tweeted. 2:24 p.m., the president tweets, Mike Pence didn't have the courage to do what should have been done.
It angered me. But I turned to my daughter, who was standing nearby, and I said, it doesn't take courage to break the law. It takes courage to uphold the law. I mean, the president's words were reckless. It was clear he decided to be part of the problem.
The most interesting thing I found is he still finds it obviously very painful. So it's two things. It's either painful or he's very calculating and trying to figure out exactly what he says. I'm curious what you made of it. For me, I'm just like, what's the point of this? Just sell a book? Like, it's been 2 years, dude. Like,
yeah,
why
where were you?
Yeah, where were you? Like, either say it then or don't. Like, what's the point? Now you want to run against Trump? Good luck. Like, you know, it was Trump-Pence, but Pence was always the asterisk.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, when I've seen Pence in polls, sometimes he gets like 10%.
Yeah, I think evangelicals like him.
Evangelicals continue to like him. And again, if Pence is in the running, if you were talking about an open prep where you have Pence and you've got DeSantis and you've got Youngkin and you got Larry Hogan and you got Mike Pompeo and whatever, you know, Pence is going to eat into some percentage of the vote because he has a lane. When the Roe versus Wade was overturned, he right away jumped into, I want the national abortion ban. So if you are a voter in the Republican base where that is your issue and you want someone who was really all in with you, Mike Pence is going to be your choice. That's going to be a small percentage of the GOP base. But again, if you are, if you're dividing the, potential non-Trump vote within the Republican base, even if you're taking 10% away from a potential Ron DeSantis, it can make a difference.
I think that's right.
Hey guys, ready or not, 2024 is fully upon us now. And Saagar and I have been brainstorming ways that we can really up our game for this critical election.
Yeah, we rely on our premium subs to expand our coverage, to add staff, to upgrade the studio. We just want to give you the best independent coverage of this election, which is possible. So if you can help us out, become a premium subscriber today, breakingpoints.com, or the link is down here in the description video. It really means the world to us. And if you like what we're all about, this is the best possible way to keep us 100% independent, working only for you.